check that the sound is good. Quick sound check. Sound check.
Twitter.
We're also on live on YouTube as well, both X and YouTube. Joined by Travis and Steve.
Yo.
Yo. All right, let's do a quick sound check. Open live video. How does it sound?
Go back on the same
Live video.
Google Meet. Bam.
Live.
Yo.
Sounds good. How's it going, guys? What parts? Hashal.
Nice.
Florian, Emmanuel, Stevie, what's up, guys?
Welcome back, everybody. I've seen some familiar names.
Oh, Florian Pop.
Yeah.
Theo, man. How's it going, guys? Alright, I'm gonna avoid that.
There we
Echo?
go. Let's do that double.
Seems okay.
Double the trouble.
Alright. Let's let a few people come in, warm things
Kick
up.
us off, Rob. Yeah.
So the theme, as you guys probably know from the announcement post, is bridging the gap between indie hacking and raising venture capital. Obviously, I don't come from the side of raising venture capital. That's what these guys are here for. I come from the side of indie hacking. And obviously, in a minute, we're going to bring in Mark Liu. I don't think he needs an introduction. He can introduce himself to represent the indie hacking side. Emily, unfortunately, isn't here. It was in my announcement post, but we've got some great guys to cover the VC side as well. So I'm just going to give it a couple minutes, let everybody join.
Maybe, so just a quick update, I guess. We are 11 days into our first ever hacker residency out here in Da Nang. It has been not a shit show so far, relatively smooth. You know, we really didn't know what to expect. Little recap, like we had 500 applications. I think we did about 75 interviews. Tried to get a good group of people together that was a mixture of some venture folks, some indie folks, folks who are already pretty successful, and then some folks who we just saw a lot of promise in. And overall, just good vibes is one of the things, because we're like living with these folks and hanging out. And I think it's going pretty well so far. We were able to get some amazing sponsors. We'll talk about that a little later. And you know, earlier today, I think some people went on a nice long hike, saw some monkeys. We did this. So Melly over here has this danceStoriesForKids.com, and it has a physical dance business. So a bunch of us went into a room and just danced like we were children, which is pretty interesting. But like the majority of the time, people are locked in. I think some of you might know Alex Cooldev, Alex Nguyen, who is just killing it right now. He was up till like 6 a.m. last night, and I saw him at like 4 p.m. and I'm like, "Yo, Alex, where you been?" He's like, "I was asleep." And I think everyone is settling into their groove of finding their productivity. How are you guys feeling about it so far? Let's just start there.
Good. It took a few days to get into the rhythm. I think as expected, it happens when you travel anywhere. You find your rhythm, you find your routine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting in a really productive routine now.
Yeah.
So
And
we've
then
got the food behind us.
Yeah.
Already.
And then who else do we have here? Just quick intro so people know
Go around.
who's here.
Yeah, from left to right. Lillian first.
Well, Lillian. Are you just saying hi? You're saying hi.
Oh, hey, I'm Lillian.
Lillian, we did a talk on pitching 101, pitching yourself, being comfortable selling yourself a little bit, getting out of your comfort zone. Do you want to give your quick pitch? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm working on different apps in the mental health space. I worked on an app for OCD with like over 30k users. Still making like money from it. Currently living off it and kind of doing the entire digital nomad stuff. And now working on some new products in the mental health space. I went viral a bunch of times with them. Yeah.
Awesome, Lillian.
And Lillian could beat all of us up. She competed in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu World Championships. Fucking crazy.
But Travis is a wrestler, so I don't think I can.
I used to be a wrestler when I was young and in shape.
You know what? I have an idea for the next theme
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
live share.
Yeah. Oh shit. Hassan.
Hi everyone, I'm Hassan. I'm from a tiny little town in Lebanon called Tyre. It's the 4th oldest little city on the planet.
Nice.
And little 12-year-old me who started like messing around and hustling with websites and stuff like that, I think wouldn't have like in their wildest dreams think that I would be doing what I'm doing now. I'm 4 founded startups.
Go Hassan!
Oh,
Ryan.
there we go.
Yeah!
Yeah. I got 2 exits out of that, and right now I'm just like working on a new app slash product called float.com, where your data can basically just do the work for you while you sleep. You just like feed all your app store data, your Play Store data, your ad analytics data, and then we give you like actionable insights, so you can like kind of stop guessing. We've all been in this thing where like we don't know what to do, we don't know what to look at previously, we don't know what to do next. Well, in the age of AI, the only thing limiting us is the context limit, and we've gotten excellent at this context engineering for the devs out there.
Hassan is building a better revenue cat for mobile apps.
It's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
You gotta simplify. You gotta simplify.
All right.
Okay.
That's the simple version.
Yeah.
That's the simple version.
Fook.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Fook, one of the hosts here, and by the way, the way to pronounce my name is Fook, not fuck.
Okay.
So a lot of people mistaken that. I'm fine with it. I have been running a product studio on Twitter for a while. Some of you guys probably know me. I see some familiar faces there. I see Florian. I see
Wait.
Yeah.
Leo
Leo.
Blossom says happy
Joseph's
birthday,
birthday?
Joseph. It's Joseph's
Hey guys.
birthday?
No, it's like a running gag.
What?
Happy birthday,
Yo!
Hi Leo!
We did have a birthday. Last Friday was Ayush's birthday. We did a bunch of cake. We had a 1 million MRR cake
1
for
million MRR
Ayush, and yeah,
I got to eat like a piece of that
a
cake.
piece of a 1 million MRR.
It's
Yeah.
like a piece of 1 million MRR.
What are you building, Fook?
So I'm here, one of the hosts, trying to help the residents here have the best experience of the first resident ever.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm also working on Vibing Base, which is lovable for desktop apps. Meaning you go in, you type in a prompt, and then it creates a Mac and Windows apps for you in 5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Lovable for desktop apps.
So if any of you want a desktop app and don't have the time to build it or don't know how to build it, let me know in my Twitter DM.
Awesome. Melly, take it away.
So hi, I'm originally studied and educated dance teacher, so I have my dance business in Vienna. So if you're living in Vienna, probably your child is dancing with us. So and now I'm bringing up like the online version, so you can dance everywhere in the world with your children. We have dance stories for kids in German and English. So if you go on the website, you can check like the languages and try it out. It's in the first stage. So if you're being parents, like keep a hand up, so I find you in the chat.
Yeah, say
I
something.
can send it to you directly. Try it out. Give me feedback, because I want to create it like literally with parents, with caretakers, to have an amazing experience with the children, to dance, to get them moving, to get them imagination, solving problems, exactly what we do daily on our computer, but in our mind and with our body as
Yo,
children.
sorry, Alex is like in his room over here, like 20 feet away.
Yo, Alex.
No, but Miles said that he took too much pre-workout something, and then he was he wants to be I think he's a little camera shy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Alex Nguyen is also a Vietnamese baller indie hacker.
Earlier today, we actually did one of Melly's dance stories, and it was incredible. We were just jumping around the room, and it was so nice.
I got to be a caterpillar.
You did. You were an amazing, and then a
Rocket
butterfly.
ship.
Yeah,
And then a
yeah,
butterfly.
yeah.
David has some footage of that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're already putting that.
Florian wants Alex to come out. I'll ping him.
We've got an hour.
Avocados, and then lunch is kind of rotating, but generally something healthy, small portions.
Yep.
Dinner generally similar, but like a different place, so you get a little variety. And then at least once or twice a week we try to go out as a group. This past Saturday we did hot pot, which was a lot of fun.
So good.
I think it was
My first time.
Yeah, first time doing
It's
hot
awesome.
pot. What'd you
I
think,
loved
man?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. There was so much food of different animals and
Yeah.
and even vegetarian options. And stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So many
embarrassed.
flavors.
I'm embarrassed to say that when the food course came out, I
Yeah.
thought the little ball of meat was cooked, and I just
Oh,
grabbed it
dude,
I grabbed it as an appetizer and just ate it. And then
Steve
Yeah,
eating
I
some
think-
raw shit.
I think David was like, "Don't eat anything raw," and I was like, "Oh."
Uh-oh. Too late for that.
Yeah.
We've got Sammy in the chat. We've got Ricky Kamal, who also says happy birthday.
Rash is what's up, Fook?
What the fook?
What the Fook?
What the fook?
Live ended. Let's just double check that. Maybe something happened. Everything seems okay. Sammy.
Alex is still at the gym, so
stream.
Oh, it says the X stream ended. Yeah.
It's still up there, eh?
It's still up. For some reason it restarted. I don't know what that's about.
Maybe you have to go back in. I don't know.
Everything seems okay. It might have been
Yeah, it says
I'll keep an eye on that.
is blocked on X.
Seems back up again if you guys want to check.
It says it blocked on X. Yeah, and
Yeah, it's back now. We're good. I'll keep an eye on if that happens again. Last time it wasn't a problem, so. We do have a mic. How is the sound, by the way, guys?
It's done on my end. I'm just checking here.
Just okay?
There's not a mic.
Yeah, it's done, but a new one started for some reason. I'll
I
keep
guess
an eye on
So
it.
but it's a different link for people.
Yeah,
like
if
this
you
one
refresh
is-
and you go back to the my account, then you'll see the new one.
have a good name, pass around
People
the
are back
mic,
to. Yeah, we can pass around the mic. I don't want it to get too loud. Try and keep the sound normalized. We good again? Sound isn't great for people in the back. Okay, maybe we should have like a spoon or something. I don't know. We'll pass around the mic if we talk to people in the back. That's good. We're still learning on the go. All right. Okie dokie.
We're gonna go soon.
Yes. Yeah, in a little bit. When
Do
it's
we
ready.
have an updated link? Because I think a lot of people retweeted the first one. And
We do. It's it's on the profile, same as before, same discovery as before. Just go to my profile, you see. I mean anybody watching this already has the link. But yeah, the same discovery is as before. I can't really do anything about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine,
There
bro.
are
Yeah,
72 people in
yeah.
already, so it seems it's been discovered. Still on YouTube. A little bit of a delay. Okay. Let's just double check how it sounds. Before I see what you mean by the delay. I can't really do anything about that right now.
We're
but
working
seems
through it.
good.
We're like, this
working
is
through
very
it.
last minute. We weren't planning on doing this originally, and then Rob was like, hey, let's try it out. And yeah, thanks to Rob for organizing this.
For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, okay, so the theme for this live stream, we'll just keep going because it's working. If something happens, I'll keep an eye on it. And it will always be on my profile. So if you want to find it, it's always on my profile. So if it goes down, just visit my profile again. In terms of
Nice.
the theme is indie hacking, bridging the gap between indie hacking and raising venture capital. This is the reason I proposed this theme, and I was talking to Travis about it beforehand, was because obviously I come from the background of indie hacking. I know a lot of other people here, like Fook is a legend obviously in the indie hacking scene, but there are also some people who have come here from, surprise, who have come here from like a venture-backed, a VC-backed background. So we had this kind of hot pot, pun not intended, talking about hot pots just now, mix in the house, and it's given me personally loads and loads of fresh perspectives that I've been able to apply into indie hacking, sort of understanding what the other side of life is like, and all of those fresh perspectives I want to be able to share. So that's why we're doing this live stream. That's why I was inspired to do this topic.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of stuff to learn from both sides.
Yeah, so it's really a big theme of what we've found with this hacker residency. The DNA of this is coming from Silicon Valley, and this absolute top of the top residency called HF0 out there that I was lucky enough to go through 2 years ago. We just had one of the founders and GPs of HF0, Emily, at the house today, and she just had to catch a flight back to Germany. You know, when I think about the world of tech entrepreneurship, it's really segregated. There's the venture world and building a venture scale startup and all the resources out there, and then there's the indie world. And I think a lot of the audience here probably is very familiar with build in public, with sharing your MRR, with building certain types of products. And I think it's really interesting case study that we have here. So I think 4 out of the 10 residents have raised venture before. The other 6 are really solid or on their journeys doing their anything. And when I think about this world, it's really one separate. Like there is some overlap of basic concepts like thinking through your product pitching. Talking to customers, validating, doing lean MVPs, like all this is overlap. And then there's some parts of it where it's very, very different perspectives.
Yeah.
And also the resources are very different. Yo, what's up? What's up, Dominic?
What's up, Dominic? How's it
Yeah,
going?
but Dominic from Bali, yeah.
Look, you know Dominic? Huh?
Yeah. So when I think of it, like there's just so many resources out there that are targeting and so much capital. Like if you've never been around that world, I don't think that most people understand just how much capital, literally like tens of thousands of times the amount of capital and resources out there, helping targeting venture scale startups and resources. And when I think of that imbalance, the amount of resources out there that are targeting and helping indie folks, I think the world would be a better place if there were more legit resources to try and bridge the gap between these two and balance that world. And there's also a lot that I think indie hackers can learn from the venture world and vice versa. Yeah. That's been kind of a recurring theme. And I think the key thing is understanding the game that you're playing and really, let's say you're a fairly successful indie hacker, or maybe you're on that path. And there's a lot of, you might have seen in movies or on X, like a lot of stuff where people talk about, I raised this amount, I raised that amount. It's very enticing. But understanding that game, understanding the trade-offs involved in raising venture or in going the indie route, right? We have a few folks who have raised significant venture. Steve's one of them, right? Had a successful indie exit and then raised from a tier 1 VC. Had this massive mission and then learned a lot during it, but also kind of got a little bit jaded afterwards because it didn't work out, and now is back to his indie roots, right? So I think the world would be a better place with more of a balance and more bridging the gap of the knowledge and the mindsets across these two fairly disparate types of startups. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think about this topic?
We literally just talked about this with Emily this morning.
But for these guys,
I think the residency, this current batch of residency, and it's very interesting mix of people. We have some founders with venture-backed business before, like Brian, like Miles, like you, like Steve, and now you guys kind of want to go more indie, become more like indie business. And we also have the other group of founders like Alex and Ayus or even Rob, coming from the background of an indie hacker and are kind of venture curious, which is the term that we call today.
I like this term, venture curious.
Yeah, so they are building profitable businesses, but they never really done VC business before. So they are also curious, what is the benefit? What is the trade-off that you need to make? When should I raise venture capital and when should I stay indie? So that's a very interesting topic for both sides of founders.
Yeah, there are some folks who maybe, like Edmund, our videographer, for instance, and he is making a fucking crazy video for our hack residency that he showed us the first third of it yesterday, and it is really, really insane. He's got 150,000 followers on Instagram. He is one of the top 1% of the top 1% in the world at using all of the latest kind of AI video stuff and then the old school video stuff. And I'm really excited to see his video. But his story is interesting because he was a CS major at Berkeley and then went and did YC immediately, and then ended up burning out and realizing that wasn't for him. But he had this default path in front of him. We're raising venture and building a certain type of venture company. Being in the Bay, being surrounded by all of that pressure was the only path, and he didn't even know that indie hacking existed, right? And then you have the other types of folks where it's maybe you're inspired by Tony Din or Mark Liu, who's joining us today, where you start off and just focused on the fundamentals and on making money and being profitable, which is amazing. I think more of the venture folks should have that mindset, especially early. It's healthier, right? Yeah. But I just think this common theme of bridging the gap between these two is so fundamentally important.
I just want to mention one thing. So what you mentioned at the end there around profitability is something I've been doing with. So I've raised I think 4 times now. And the one thing that helps me in my venture-based startup is to actually focus on profitability. And it's kind of non-conventional wisdom. And I actually don't know why. Everyone tells you spend the money, go do all this crazy stuff. But when your company is has some kind of profitability, you're thinking about money early. A lot of people think about money very late. They're working on a product. and they're not thinking who's actually going to buy this product, what's the market for it. They're not validating early enough because they think, oh, somebody else's money, someone's investing millions in my startup, I don't have to worry about that now. And then suddenly you have like 4 months of runway. It's always the same freaking story. You have like 4 months of runway and you have a bunch of people working in your company and you're freaking out and you're kind of trying to get that bridge round or whatever. But if you had been thinking about literally like what your customers actually want, actual product market fit as soon as possible, and trying to get like MRR as soon as possible, the indie hacking way, I really think that's the way, and it'll actually help you. Then when you go to VCs and you're trying to pitch your startup, you're going to be so strong because you're not going to be so desperate. That whole thing of like, I need money now or I'm running out of money in 6 months, what's your runway? I think I would love for the entire community to change that. I think that's like a crazy thing.
I guess my main question here for most people is like, if you're starting off, people look at raising money as it's a safe way to exit from the 9 to 5 from their normal job, and it's like, I can still pay myself, I can still have some stability, and so it de-risks things. And then you have some folks who are like nights and weekends. How do you, as an aspiring entrepreneur, whether it's venture or indie, how do you get to that point where you have enough safety where you can be working full time on your passion thing?
Yeah, I think everybody has a different story. My story obviously was I tried this path for about a year. I didn't make any money, literally $0 for 11 months. That was the hook on my post, because then I made an X post where I was saying, look, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I've tried this for a year. I've made no money. Now my back's up against the wall. I have no runway. What do I do? People then said, start a dev agency. Obviously, it's not as easy. It's easier said than done.
Move somewhere cheaper.
Move somewhere cheaper.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we've come to Da Nang.
Well, it's a
like
part
starting
of it. It's part of it.
It's part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because it's much more affordable in this part of the world than obviously if you're doing it in the US. And for me, yeah, I ran a dev agency for a few months, built up the runway, and then I was able to start again. So whether that's, intentionally saving money in the 9 to 5, I think that's a completely reasonable option. Or whether you try some kind of entrepreneurial route that's different from just doing a SaaS, something that's more cash flow positive. In other words, like a dev agency, you get paid immediately. It's not you have this period up front where you're not necessarily making money and there's loads of uncertainties, and eventually you might or might not start making profit. But one of the biggest things I've taken away from this residency so far, with this sort of VC perspective coming from someone who's more on the indie hacking side, was the talk you did yesterday, pitching 101. Because I think as an indie hacker, yes, you think about pitching. You think about it from like the value prop on your landing page, and you think about it from if you're your distribution channel, how you're gonna start selling it. But I think it's very easy as an indie hacker because you're not thinking about directly talking to a VC. You're thinking about like maybe you get carried away in the ruts of building a product, and you don't think about this pitching. Taking in the VC perspective of really think about from the beginning, and I think maybe even before you start building, think about what your pitch is going to be. Yeah. I think
Mark
have got Mark eventually joining the thing. Yeah. Now, okay, Mark is joining now. Mark Liu. I don't think he needs an introduction. He can introduce himself. That said, we're going to test the mic setup and everything. So bear with us a second. I'm going to admit him in. Make sure he can hear everything.
What's up, Chris? Oh. Yeah. I think I'm gonna wear earbuds because there might be some echo or something.
Yeah, we have to. There's this setup because obviously, when you talk, it comes out of here and then goes back into the mic.
Yeah. Fella.
Handsome fella. We can hear you though.
Mute.
Take your time, my man.
I'm trying to find a way to mute myself, otherwise I hear me talking, which is distracting. Okay. Oh, I think you did it for me, didn't you?
You're talking. First off, welcome, bro. It's great to meet you. Where are you calling in from today?
Holy smokes! Yeah, cool. I'm in France at the moment. I'm trying to see which screen I look at because I have like the Google Meet and the Twitter live stream, which is a little delayed from what I see on the Google Meet. And now I hear myself
Don't
again.
say-
1 second.
No worries, bro. We're all figuring this out. This is the indie hacking.
Emmanuel's
Okay, I think I figured it out. I mute the Twitter stream and I'm just on Google Meet.
okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
There we go. Okay. Wow, what's up, guys?
Oh, it's
Yo,
great to
Mark.
meet you.
Good to meet you, man.
It's also so cool to see what you guys are building. It's amazing.
From your perspective, and maybe the glimpses that you're getting.
Man, I wish I was 10 years younger and I'll just join this and, you know, have fun, live with other people, travel again to Asia. That's so cool.
You're in the West Coast surfing in France now, right? You're still there.
Yeah, we're slowly returning to Europe. And we just actually left Bali a couple months ago.
How is it? How is it?
I kind of miss Asia as well now.
You left.
It's not forever, but we're slowly returning to Europe. We kind of miss it too. So nothing is really sure yet, but it's in transition.
The topic for today, and really would love to get your perspective on this, is bridging the gap between the venture world and the indie world. And I think, you know, you're obviously very successful and influential kind of on the indie side, and I don't know your background, but maybe if you have anything, any thoughts on that topic, we'd love to hear them.
Well, it's fun because back then, 6 years ago, I think it was, I was in Korea and we raised a little bit of money with a friend of mine, like angel investment. So not yet VC money, but like, you know, on the road to get there. The journey from what I'm doing these days is completely different. And I think it really depends on who you are and what your preferences are. But I personally like just having a computer, do whatever I want. And, you know, if one day I have a brand new idea, jump on it, just, you know, ditch what I was doing and spend a week building a completely stupid project that verifies Stripe revenues or whatever.
And
Then I want to be able to do that. Yeah. I think that gets me excited more than big ambitious projects. So yeah, I mean, in the end, I think the world needs VC. The world needs like very ambitious entrepreneurs. There's like all the things we're using are made by people who at some point raise money. But I think there's also a little space for stupid people like me to make random apps on the internet, and that's the beauty.
I second that. I second that. Well, what was your journey like? Like, I know you were in Korea, right? When you obviously met your wife and everything, and how because we were just talking. I don't know if you're tuned into the stream. We were just talking about how you get that initial runway as an indie hacker, because that's one of the biggest, you know, challenges as an indie hacker. You're running with no runway. How do you build up that runway? How did you build up that runway initially before you started working on, like, you know, Shipfast and all the projects that came before that?
Oh, I think it would be very long for the stream because I've been 7 years in, and I went from bootstrap funders to VC funders to bootstrap again. I was living at my parents at some point. Yeah. A little bit like angel investments. So we raised 100K with a friend in Korea. And that's the good thing about angel investing in VC is, you know, at least you get to pay your own salary. You're not starting with zero. But before that, I was in France. I was living with my parents, so zero spent, and I was working as a waiter part-time. So I had just enough money to pay for basic stuff. Then the VC money came in and stuff in Korea. Then I went back bootstrap again. And then my wife was a Korean teacher, so she was paying for the, you know, all the like daily stuff. That's how I ended up having enough time to build some project that ended up taking off enough to pay for the bills.
So you had a supportive wife that was able to pay some of the bills, and that helped.
Yeah. There she is.
Hello.
I gotta record this for the YouTube channel as well,
Oh,
making a little vlog on this. Wife was very supportive. So there was two things: wife supports, as well as like what you guys are doing, moving to Southeast Asia, which is much cheaper. So living in Bali, especially back then, 2021, there was like you could get a house and everything for like $600. So you really need to make very little money with your apps to be able to make a living. And then I think after a couple months of grinding, I ended up making, you know, a couple $100 a month, and that was just enough to cover for the basic expenses.
Yeah.
Which project was that with? The first, like when you were like, oh shit, this might be able to work.
The first one was in 2018 when I was selling like little games, marketing tools as form as a game for escape room businesses. And yeah, that's how I made my first dollar online. That's how I quickly reached $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue with that project. I know it was enough, at least in Bali, to pay for the living. Then collapsed, COVID happened and stuff, and started again. And then it was like a gamified habit tracker that started to pay for bills again. But yeah, that very tiny money, but just enough there.
Like getting to that ramen profitability. I think Fook is really excited to do a escape room out here, right? We were talking about that.
Yeah, sure. Do people still use your app? Do still people use what was it called again? Virally or something? Virally?
This one, I think the last paying customers, she's been paying. I think she's been paying for 5 years for these SaaS, which is crazy to think about it. It's crazy. So she's been paying for my ramen and for my food and everything for 5 years, and she turned in 2023 or something.
Oh no!
It was a bit of an emotional moment. We traveled to Australia. We thought we would meet her. We couldn't because she was closed. But it was very, there is some emotions into this, like a good story.
She turned because she shut down, the escape room shut down.
No, I think she just moved on with the strategy. Whatever that she ended up building at some point, it was the product was
the supportive wife. She's doing it actively right now.
Yeah, she's she's making. There you go.
Somebody was asking Mark, what are you building now, man?
I don't really know. Okay, it's a little teaser, but someone messaged me this morning and told me about an app idea that I had no idea what I would build. His name is Brian, and I might have to build what he said. I might be shipping something completely new in the next week.
Well, a new domain?
I'm not sure. No. It's on the like a progress, like a thinking stage.
Okay. Nice. Your perspective on is, we're doing this as an experiment. We're getting a lot of amazing indie hackers, people who are fairly well known. They each have their own audiences here. People like Tony, Din, and Fook, and Rob, and just to have a whole house full of people. And part of that is we want to lock in and push ourselves and then get those different perspectives. And then a part of that is, how can we utilize each other's strengths to even ourselves out. And like Alex Nguyen is a TikTok growth hacker just like extraordinaire, and so getting some of that I think has been really, really useful. Have you seen on your journey, I think like very much building in public, like what do you think the indie hacking world needs, Mark? And then what do you have any ideas for us and what we're doing and where this whole hack residency thing could go?
Okay, so if we forget the fact that I shipped a boilerplate for people to ship fast, I would say that I think people need to ship more and faster. I think it's important to put on ideas more. The recent example is what I just shipped with Trust MRR, which I thought would be a one-page website with 1,000 visitors and move on. Ended up paying more than the bills, and I've learned tons of things from it. And I think every time you put a small bet out there, you have something can happen. At least you learn something, you make friends, you grow an audience, and eventually you make money. I think, I don't know, I think what you guys are doing is amazing. I think I would say like keep shipping stuff, keep making stuff, and since you're all together, it's all part of like I mentioned a lot about Dan Kokov, who became my friend in 2022 from being on Twitter. He reviews all my landing pages, and every time he look at it and say, "Oh, this is trash," and then his feedback is so valuable because if you think like this, then the market will think like this. And so I learn from him, I tweak it, and then I ship it. I get feedback from people who comment on my tweets, and I tweak again. I add more features based on what people say. So like people's viewpoints, people's feedbacks is about everything, and you guys are next to each other. You can have direct, instant feedback, even though you don't necessarily have an audience on Twitter. So I think this is valuable. This is amazing, and it's just a matter of keep shipping the startups.
How did you meet Dan? Was it through X?
Through X, yeah.
Insane. You just started replying to each other's posts, and then the rest of the history? That's the beauty when you are getting started on Twitter, is like less things are happening, so you have more time to spend with each person who interacts with your posts. And so that way you create like little relationships,
and then you realize that that guy is in Bangkok and you're in Bali, whatever, and you end up meeting in the world. Like we'll probably meet at some point.
I hope so.
And
In
yeah,
France
hope so
or
too, man.
Bali, I
Wait,
don't
so,
know.
yeah, I guess one question for you. Obviously, we're doing this out here in Da Nang in Vietnam. It's beautiful. I think there's a lot of momentum. We might end up doing this in other indie hacking hotspots. Where should we do a next one, Mark?
I think Bali still is the #1 place to go. Let's say
Bali.
Bali.
Bali is. I think it would be the #1. Yeah.
Canggu?
Batu.
Yeah. I think both places are really nice. I think Canggu is still the place where you have the most entrepreneurs. So you have you can more connected to more people. Danny Postma is over there.
Of course.
Let's say Canggu would still be #1. Yeah.
You have plans to go back to Asia anytime soon, or not in the works right now?
Wait, it's the same like with the project I ship. I have no idea what's gonna be next month. We're gonna be here for 2 months. Then we go to Greece next January, and then this is the blank page.
If we
Nice.
somewhere in Europe, where should we go?
I do not know Europe well enough, but honestly, it's I'm not selling my own country, but this is really amazing where we are here. Like southwest of France is like relatively cheap compared to the rest of France. You have the surf, you have a lot of people working online. It's wide and stuff, so you can get like a big mansion or something that is not crazy high. So I would consider this place.
We got one French dude, Thomas. I think he's a
Yeah.
good representative of the country so far.
For sure.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, like, when it comes to your kind of like ideation, what is that process like these days? I know you mentioned like someone DM'd you this morning, you're like, ooh, that sounds good. But what does it usually look like? Like, where do you come up with this shit, basically?
How do you navigate the idea maze for your stuff and get enough conviction where you're like, I'm gonna execute on this?
Yeah.
I take a lot of showers and I go on a lot of walks.
Yeah.
Peace of
Yeah,
mind.
like yeah, exactly, yeah.
So where did you get the idea for Ship Fast and Trust MR? Like when and how?
And I
Shower, man.
really
Showering with money or with water?
Shipas was showering definitely with water, the minimum amount of water I had back then. Man, I think there's just so many ways to get ideas. Shipas came from the fact that there was no AI back then, or it was the beginning, it was very slow. And I remember it would take like 2 weeks to ship a project, which now seems crazy for a one-page website. And I realized I was doing the same thing over and over and over. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, create a reusable piece of code and eventually add a buy button, and ended up being what it is today. Trust MR came from a tweet from Peter Levels, and I'm like, wait, this is very true. I care about those screenshots because this builds trust, and that's what I do. So I want to make sure that things are trustworthy. Sometimes I get ideas based on I realized with my wife we're taking care of our health a lot this year, and realize how hard it is. So I built this little BioAge project where it helps me understand my blood tests, food intake, sleep data all together, how they relate, how they connect to each other. It's just doing stuff, I would say.
Just do
Solving
things.
it.
Just do things, bro. Yeah.
Well, Mark was the inspiration for honestly my journey. You were one of the key inspirations. I know I've said this in videos in the past, so you know this. Like you showed it was possible for a lot of people when you did ship fast, and everything skyrocketed in 2023. Did you have any like key people or I don't know things that like inspired you before you had that crazy
inflection
success?
point?
Yeah, that inflection point.
Yeah. It's the same story as you. Like I would sit and I would look at Peter Levels and I would be like, oh, this guy is amazing. Like exactly the same story. Peter Levels, Danny Postma, there was John Yon Fook, and a bunch of others. That same pioneered the way.
The OG
Yeah, the OGs,
indies.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
The OG.
Yeah.
Did you get the chance to meet them in Bali when you were there?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super nice. Well, yeah. I mean, there was someone asked earlier in the question in the chat, and I think about this a lot because I don't know if you see this as much as I do. A lot of people say, oh, you went viral because you have followers. Whereas I think from. I honestly think it's like you get followers because you go viral. What is your perspective on that? I have a strong opinion, but I wanna know yours. Like, how would you go about
Yeah,
getting
that's the
followers
recurring.
if you were to start again?
Yeah. I think there's like followers increase the magnitude of which you'll go viral. But I think you can have a bunch of followers and have all your tweet get 0 likes, and you can have 0 followers and have your first tweet get 1 million likes. It really is about psychology and how you write and what you build. And then following just increase the magnitude of everything.
Yeah. If you
1,000 viewers now.
1,000 viewers now, apparently. Insane. If you were gonna start again, like what would you start with? Where would you start? I don't know if you saw like the meme. People are like, if you want an idea, go to Trust MRR, scroll through, pick an idea to copy it. Would you use that, or would you go a different strategy if you were trying to come up with like a new idea from scratch? You didn't have Shipfast, you didn't have Trust MRR, you had no success. How would you go about it?
And I would replicate exactly what it did. I can just build products. Yeah, I think right now you can go on Twitter, you scroll Twitter, you take one tweet that could be sold with a product idea, and you quote the tweet, you build it in 24 hours, and you share that. Like literally what I did for Trust MRR, but all the time there's a guy who said like, I wish there was an app for this, or people are lying about that. You make an app, you quote the tweet, and boom, you have a nice story to tell, and that can work for just about anything.
Do you have a list of these now where you're like, I want to do that, but I don't have enough time?
List is way too long.
Yeah.
You know he does.
It's a secret list. Do you have any like you could share that it would be like you would do it and you're okay sharing it? It's not like you want to keep it secret.
And open the list. It's way too long. Oh wait, let me show because there might be some.
How do you organize stuff? Do you use Notion or what's your setup?
That's a good question. I'm curious.
I have a Google Keep. Whenever I have an idea, I ended up writing it in there. But funny enough, I don't have the time to build those ideas. And when I end up building one like Trust MRR, it was not on the list. So it's honestly, it's a bit of a, like maybe it sounds like I know what I'm doing or whatever, but it's a bit of a chaos up there. And a lot of things are random.
I will say, I feel like this is something, I was talking with Tony Din about like, how does he have enough conviction to execute on an idea? And he was just like, I solved my own problems, right? So he's very like humble, very simple answer to it. When I think about all the indie hackers, and part of doing this residency, and talking to so many indie hackers is getting a perspective on like what do people struggle with. I think the first thing is like just loneliness, and it can be even if you connect with people online, like that in-person connection, and that's a challenge. And the second thing is picking the right things to work on, because you can like have an idea and execute on it, but if you're kind of like battling uphill, it's like surfing, right? Picking the right wave to ride, where you're building on that momentum, way easier than. And so you see people that are just like trudging along in there, but they picked almost the wrong thing. And I think over time, like someone like you who has like many successes, you end up building up this taste that might be hard to articulate as to picking the right problems, and then obviously executing on it fast and just getting a version out there. And then the third thing I think that a lot of indie hackers struggle with is distribution, right? And like if you can have some homies that are good at that can help with that.
Mm-hmm. But if you don't, and I think a lot of people who are started with indie hacking start solo. At least you start solo, and then you meet people like you met Dan. I met
What's up, Mark?
Yo.
Oh, do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Are you in France
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, we're in France right now at the moment. Yeah.
I mean, so Mark.
From Korea.
In Korea. So he did this super cool indie hacker meetup in Seoul, and there were a lot of like 50 people, and so we all went to this Korean sauna spa kind of thing. I mean, Mark covered all of us, and we were in really high heat, but everyone's talking about like MRRs and like indie hacking, and like, so how do you do distribution? So that was super cool. And then we met up again, I think around 2-3 months ago, right? At David Park's Jenny AI's office. So that was also super cool.
Oh,
so
different David Park.
yeah, this is the other David Park. Yeah. OG David Park.
David Park.
Yeah.
so
You,
many
you
other
lost the
rooms.
SEO game on that one, man.
I used to be number one.
Yeah, but seriously, Mark has been. I think he's contributing so much to this whole indie game, not only in Korea but really all over the world. So I mean, really happy that you're here, man. Nice to see you again. Yeah.
Good, so happy to see you too. Yeah, it's so cool you're participating in the residency, man. It's amazing. I was so surprised actually to see you.
Really? It's super.
Yeah, because you know, like it's a tiny fraction of the indie hiker bubble, and then suddenly I'm like, wow, this Brian is there. Like I was like so surprised.
Like merging these two worlds because Brian has a very
Yeah.
strong venture background and he has been inspired by like Tony and very consciously made this decision to understand the trade-offs and to go indie, right? And I think you see that, and then we have some really successful indie folks who are venture curious and just trying to cross the bridge between these two worlds.
How many bedrooms is there in the villa?
Yeah, so there's 7 bedrooms in this villa, and then we have a couple couples here, and we gave the bigger rooms to the couples, but they're fucking nice, right? Like yours is.
It's the presidential suite.
Yeah, it's the presidential suite. Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
studio.
Well, they have a whole they have a whole room that is Hassan's partner Kira is a DJ and it kind of set it up as like a sound studio. That is their closet essentially. It's bigger than most people's bedrooms. And then we have a hotel as well nearby. It's called the Code Hotel. You know, kind of on point. And we have 7 rooms there. And then a few folks who are like coming in. So we had this 17-year-old kid Koa, who is just impressive as fuck. Like on Friday he had his like physics midterms, right? Yeah. And he comes in and he's building this like app for Poly Market. He's already worked for multiple YC startups. This kid is like you talk to him and there's some things where you're like, okay, yeah, he's a high schooler, and then when he talks about his business stuff, he's just like super sophisticated and yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Just Do Things video. We posted something like.
Yeah, so he's making millions a month, right?
Well, millions of Vietnamese. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't say that, but yeah.
Exactly, millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
Oh, you kind of like when you talk to him that he's just like 17.
Yeah.
Like at one point when he was kind of saying goodbye, like we all forgot that he was 7. We're like, why are you leaving? And he's like, oh, I have a physics test tomorrow. Like, that's why. Yeah.
He had to convince his parents that like this was a real thing and
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you guys, so I saw the tweet you said you had a party a couple days ago and no alcohol.
I think a few ground rules that we have for having a container is no alcohol or drugs, and then no sexual energy towards other members of the batch. This is something that we've taken from HF0. They've been running this in San Francisco for like 6 years. They've learned the hard way because there have been other residencies that kind of try to do this thing, and there have been some scandals and some things, and so we just try to like be really intentional. This is here for people to be productive, and we set that tone. But like it's easy without some of these baseline things for things to go wrong pretty quickly.
That's why there's a hotel partnership just next by.
And also like we go out and you know, after Friday night, some folks went out dancing and drinking a little bit. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, super nice. And when does it end?
It's the whole month. So 1st through the 30th. We actually have on the 29th, we have our in-person demo day. Yeah. Some members from the Vietnamese government are coming that have partnered with us. So a little legitimacy. And then the biggest is VTV, the largest TV network in Vietnam is going to broadcast it, which, you know, for I think the local folks, like your families get to see it. That's pretty cool.
My parents going to say that I made it.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Next time is on TV.
And then our videographer, Edmund, who's just a absolute baller, is helping. So for each of the residents, he's going to do like a quick kind of pitch video for them. And we're going to have one tweet thread at the end of the month. So more of a social demo day where we tell the stories. Like we invited 10 awesome devs from around the world. We did this thing and this is what they built. Like that's the focus of the output. What did people build? What did people launch? And kind of tell that story and just see how people react.
Amazing. I'm looking forward for the end of this one, of course, and also the next ones, and you know, hopefully that takes off. I really wish I was, you know, when I was younger, I had discovered this because I felt really lonely the first years of doing entrepreneurship stuff, and now seeing this young generation and all those people building stuff online, there's a sense of community. I think it's really amazing, and I think by bringing people together, like in real world, this is will take it to the next level.
It's one thing to see Rob on Twitter, but to, you know, hang out with him in person, talk about life. Like, it's not just business, just talk about life stuff. Like, it's really a different level of different level of Rob.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Likewise, it applies to everybody here. I mean, I've been having so many insane chats with Travis and everybody here. Like you were saying at the start, I think feedback you get from, like, you know, sitting with your laptop in front of them and just watching them instead of doing it through a Google Meet or something, and actually watching them use your app and being
we had
like that.
Typefully open on one side and then SuperX on the other side, and just like, this is how I use Typefully, and you know, that was very
and
visceral.
I was looking at you and I was like, bro, that shouldn't be like that. And then you go and fix it. Which I've never had before, which was insane. For me, this is a first. But bro, it would be amazing to see you maybe one of them, or whether it's this or something else. I think just
maybe there's a future collab that we can do. We'll
figure it out. Time. You never know. You never know where things go.
Yeah.
That's what I love about all of this and indie hacking. It's like everything moves so fast. Ship fast, right? Everything moves so fast, and it should.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you doing
dude. I just have to say, the more I hear you speaking, man, I cannot help but think about Mr. Beast and Peter Lavelle had a baby in the UK. It really is. This is really what it is.
Yo, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I'll take it.
Mr. Beast and Peter Levels had a baby in the UK, and he's named Rob Hallam, and he will help you grow on X.
That's your one-liner. That's your one-liner.
Like a personal pitch.
Yeah, bro. Well, we need to do a generative AI thing of that. We need that meme.
I think someone did it because your wife, she, I forget her name. What's her name? Sorry, I don't know.
Hey, Wonji, yeah.
Wonji, back when, like a while back, she said that, right? Someone posted a picture, someone already made a combination. Back when something happened, I can't remember. Wonji was the first to say that.
Yeah.
And once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
I'll take it. It's an honor. I don't know if you have to run anywhere. There's some questions in the chat. There's loads of people throwing in questions, but
what are people asking?
Just let me know.
Can't unhear it now. David, the famous vlogger. We got David somewhere. Yeah, so David Park has been vlogging this whole thing and talking about like building a life in Da Nang. And then we've had like, I think 3 or 4 people just show up to the villa and ask for David because they see his YouTube. David, yeah.
I'm telling you, I watched the thunderstorm, whatever, tornado vlog. It was amazing. Yeah.
It was fun.
Someone asked why do all indie hackers live in Bali and Vietnam? I don't know if you want to say this, Mark. Why did you pick Bali, and when did you move to Bali?
2019.
Okay, so like 6 years ago. Wow. You picked. Did you? How did you find your place? Because do you still rent the place, the house you have?
Yeah, back then we were in Chengdu, so just monthly rental, and back then it was super cheap and the place to be for entrepreneurs. So that make perfect sense to go. You have hot weather, everything is convenient. You do everything on WhatsApp. Like you need someone to come clean your house. You need a massage because you spend too much time working. You need someone to deliver food. You just order everything on WhatsApp so you can focus on your work. And I would assume Da Nang. I've never been, but I would assume Da Nang is a bit similar.
Yeah,
it is. It's very similar. I mean, we have Grab out here as well.
Like Bali, Thailand, Vietnam, general Southeast Asian, very, very affordable, very good weather normally.
I think also a lot of people pick Bali for surfing as well, so you get to surf and ship at the same time.
Surf and shit. That's Tony's.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Yeah.
Wish Tony was here next time for sure.
And it's also the people.
Have you all been surfing with him?
Yeah.
Most of us. Yeah. He got everyone like their own instructors and stuff, and
that was so nice.
Yeah.
Have you met Tony before, Mark?
No, but I've admired. Like he's one of the OG that inspired me to get started. And I saw he picked surf like a couple years ago. I was like, oh wow, that's still connect. We're connected.
Anne, like they code together, and I think Anne is. I was like, everyone's like Tony puts Tony on this level. I think Anne is his secret weapon.
Anne is a G.
Yeah.
Anne is a G. She just went viral the other day as well.
Yeah, she had a viral tweet. That's what's up.
But
amazing.
Yeah, there's lots and lots of questions.
Yo, Mark, when are you coming out here?
That'll be a top one, man. I
Yeah.
traveled so much this year that now I'm so happy to be at the same place. For the first time, we have like a house for 3 months, so we're not moving, and that's is amazing. Also for the for creativity, like creating you repeat the same day over and over. Sometimes it's good. You come up with brand ideas and stuff. But man, I just keep me posted. I think it's really nice, and I think I would like to be part in some way of this. So just keep me posted. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a future batch. You have any you guys cooking up any startup babies? G?
Let's put him on the spot.
No. This is
Type of
I.
startup?
My current parents will be very happy, but this is not on the roadmap for now. At least for the next 2 to 3 years.
You have a roadmap with priorities and moving things like a Kanban board.
No, not really. No, purely everything goes with the flow.
Respect.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Mark? I want to respect his time.
Absolutely. I have another question.
Yeah.
But whenever and if anybody else says
No, go.
You moved into Asia like a while ago, right? This is where you met Wenji in Korea,
Yeah.
right? Did you
Yeah.
just like, how did you know? Because this was so long ago. This was before. I don't know if it was around like early nomad days. How did you decide to pick Asia? Was it Korea you moved to? Because you did like acting and stuff. I don't know if you want to talk about that. I'm curious how you ended up picking Asia to begin with, because it was so long ago.
So back in uni, I spent like 6 years in uni, and you had to do Erasmus. You had to go abroad and study. And back then, my girlfriend at the time, she wanted to go to Hong Kong for whatever reason. I think it was the school was nice or whatever. It was not for Asia. It's just because Hong Kong had a really nice school, and I had so bad grades, but I was at the same time afraid to let her go and stay in France. I was like, shit, I got to go to Hong Kong no matter what, and I couldn't do Erasmus because I didn't have the good grades. And so I tried to get an internship abroad, which back then I didn't speak English. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't know how to code. I didn't know nothing. I was like, oh, I got to find an internship in Hong Kong so that at least I can be with her for the next 6 months. And then I ended up like buying a cheap laptop, learning like, how to fake that I know how to code using Stack Overflow. I applied to like French companies, settled down in Hong Kong. And then by miracle, I ended up having this internship where I was a complete disaster because I didn't know how to code, of course. But I ended up having an internship for 6 months in Hong Kong. And the internship, of course, was a disaster. But being in Hong Kong was eye-opening for me because it was the first time I was alone, like leaving France, learning new culture, new country, new work, new everything, new food. And that was eye-opening. I was like, oh shit, okay, Asia is completely different. And then it put a little seed in my head when I went back to finish my studies. I was like, oh, I got to go back to some point in Asia because there's something out there. And that was the beginning of the journey.
Wow.
Mark, do you what's your year look like? Like, do you spend a couple months in back in France where you guys are at, and then are you still traveling pretty regularly? What's your what's your life look like these days?
So 2 years ago, we kind of decided to move away from Bali with the wife. And so we've been traveling wherever there's a little bit of surf, wherever there's nature, wherever the food is good, and trying to, hop between places and find one place we see ourselves living in. We've been to New Zealand, South Africa, which was amazing. We traveled a bit in Asia. We went back to Korea and stuff. And I think now we're in France, and I think that's so far the best place we found to live. So we might at some point ended up going back and paying taxes here. but
Really?
it's a good place. It's a good place.
On a similar note, like, what does your time management look like? Like, what does your day look like? And what's like a perfect Mark day kind of thing?
This is a unsexy answer, but I wake up, I go for a walk, and then we go for a workout with the wife. So there's a gym nearby. I just work out crazy for 1 hour, come home, have breakfast, and then I basically log in for the entire day. And in a perfect day, if possible, I close the computer at 6 p.m. I always have a to-do list that is that big, and at the end of the day, it's even bigger. So I overwork a bit after lunch, and you guys know, yeah. Finish with a walk, shower, and sleep.
You started working out recently in the gym, right? Do you still surf
Yeah,
as much as you used to?
less, very much less, like maybe twice a week maximum.
What was that one meme with the dude and like the bananas? It was his morning, his daily routine. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Ashton Hall.
Ashton Hall.
Yeah.
It's like that.
You don't
Yeah.
do that, Mark?
With the ice, the bowl of ice.
Yeah.
in the morning.
3
And I
a.m.
like,
Yeah.
I know. So that's the rule number one: no alarm whatsoever.
I agree, man. That it's like that is a good goal in life to be able to.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have one question what could be like really interesting for people who's starting out, because everybody knows who's building something, you fail like hundreds of times, thousands of times, sometimes millions of times. So what was your key to continue and never gave up to build something? What was your reason to do it? And yeah.
Wow, it's a good question, and I did give up multiple times. That's the thing, but you don't really give up if you're still somehow planning to go back in the game. You know, it's like I would say you have a break, right? It's like I had a job at some point. I quit a bunch of projects. I just like, oh, this is not for me. For many years, I had to face my parents who were thinking I was, doing random stuff on the internet without having the backup to show like, hey, no, actually that's legit. I'm doing something real. I gave up so many times. I just think at some point, if you keep showing up, something will happen. You will come up with a French mind, and one of those products can take off out of the blue, like it happens so many times. It's just a matter of pace.
Shout out Jack, by the way. But how did you keep going? How did you keep going during those like periods where you gave up, right? How did you keep going?
I broke the wall of my bedroom. It's one of them.
You what? Sorry.
I broke the wall of my bedroom. Like I punched the wall of my bedroom.
Oh shit! There's a story.
You still have is it with the wall in your house? No, or is another? It's in
Yeah,
Bali.
my parents are trying to sell the house at the moment, so they covered it with. You can still the scar on it, but it's still there.
Frame it.
Yeah,
It's
frame
like,
it.
the beginning, the baby steps.
How is
Yeah.
How is life different after shift fast and before shift fast for you?
Question.
It's and there's so many things. It's beautiful from the financial standpoint, not having to think about can I afford this? Will I run away? Will I run out of money next month or something? That's really amazing. And you get used to it, but for the first year or so with the wife, as a kid, was pure blessing. I think the biggest reward from ShiftPass is the fact that I got out of these silence and void that you have on social media when you get started. Now I'm very lucky to have a voice, and that is very deep, meaningful happiness, because then I can share my ideas with other people. And then you also get, like the other side, you get used to things. And so not looking at the bills at the restaurant almost become normal. It sounds a bit bragging or whatever, but it becomes part of your daily life. So you also forget this. So yeah, it's overall, it's better now than it used to be, but it was also good before. And I think the real happiness is being able to share ideas with people, be able to do whatever you like. That's the true happiness, I would say. And it was pre-ShiftFest already.
Does it, or how does it impact your shipping mentality at all, if it does at all? Because like before that, you're gonna ship every day, right? But now, after shift fast, you got some financial independence, and then you also have a voice on the internet. How does that like?
It's like in startups, there's the 0 to 1 phase and then the 1 to N phase, right? Yeah. And I feel like for a creator, for an indie like hacker, there's also that 0 to 1 phase where you're getting to the point where you don't need to worry about money quite as much, or maybe you've grown enough where you have an audience now where it's almost like a phase shift, and you're in that like growth, that 1 to N phase. Would you? Yeah. So I guess I'm curious, how would you characterize that in terms of your own journey? And then what has practically changed, to Fuchs' question?
Yeah, does that impact your motivation at all, or like shipping mentality at all? Because some people, after they manage to get a successful product, and then they kind of like don't know what to do next.
Or like chill, right? Like they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good question. One of the things that changed is now that if I make a tweet about something that I build, I know there'll be a few hundred visitors, and so people will try it. And that's the difference with before. So I have to pay attention to what I ship, especially about security. I cannot just ship something that is open and that anyone can break in. Otherwise, I know a lot of people out there will try to break it. So I had to be careful with that. So somehow it lowered my shipping speed because I have to be careful on that part.
How do you
But at
manage
the
that
same
now?
time, what is it?
How do you manage the security side now? What do you do to
I just
protect it?
I've learned a lot from the previous mistakes, and I also,
Guy, be secure.
Hey, just tell the guy to be secure.
Yeah.
if I say that on Twitter, I'm gonna get crucified.
Kill, not hackable at all.
You have like a routine, because I'm curious about this. Do you have a routine where you go to, I don't know, like a pen tester, an ethical hacker, and like every month you get them to audit it, or is it just like new projects?
That's not some indie stuff.
No?
I don't know.
But I mean, like maybe at 200,000
Yeah.
followers, it matters.
I have to. So I also changed my approach with the people trying to hack my site. Initially, the first, I'm a bit of a Labrador personality, so I was like, oh, why would someone attack my site? So initially, I was a bit emotional about people trying to attack my site. Then I started to chat with them, and I realized that actually those are people who enjoy finding security flaws in apps. And if you end up chatting with them, then actually they're really nice. And recently, what happened is someone was trying to hack one of my websites, and then he was much smarter than me, so he overtook me like by far. And then in the end, he reached out, and now we're talking about eventually having baklava together in Turkey. Like we became friends. It's insane. And so now I get to chat with some of the people trying to hack my apps, and I have a very short list of all of them. They're really kind and very smart. And whenever I ship a new app, like I did with TrustMR, I have them audit the code base. So at least I know it's okay, it's secure, it's safe because I can make mistake. That's my new routine in shipping.
Thomas, do you want to say hi? I don't know if you guys
yeah,
know
Thomas.
each other.
Thomas, you come here.
Thomas Sandless from UNID?
Yeah.
I have to say bonjour,
Yeah.
at least.
Bonjour Thomas, ça va mec?
Ouais, ça va, toi?
Hold on.
When you put two French people, we'll speak in French.
Yeah, allez, c'est parti, on parle français, je suis désolé les autres. On s'arrête.
So it's Thomas, your first time kind of out of Europe, and then you a lot more English than maybe you're used to, and
Yeah, I think you can notice with my accent, and the way I'm not comfortable speaking English.
you're
so.
good.
No, bro, you're a beast.
Thanks.
Yeah, you had your launch recently, which
Yeah,
went very
yeah.
well. #1 on Product Hunt.
Yeah, true. Number two actually.
two?
Like, yeah, we
Okay,
went
but
number
still.
2. Yeah, the last hour. But yeah, it went great. I launched an alternative to Product Hunt on Product Hunt, so it's pretty great.
And you had something massive happen, but we can't talk about it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
That
I'm
would be a
pretty
good
sure.
place to share it.
I tried to talk about it in my blog actually, but they talked me out of it. So
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things Thomas was mentioning is like this is the first time that you've kind of done a bigger group thing with other indie hackers and entrepreneurs, and maybe just not as common where you're at in France. I don't know if Mark would echo that, but I'm curious. What does the indie community look like out where you guys are at? For both of you guys. Yeah. Like in Canggu, there's like the Haka, and they've been kind of expanding, and yeah. What do you guys have out there in France?
I mean, actually, for me, I spend most of my time in my bedroom, so no matter where I live, I don't really hang out. So it's hard to tell much about the indie community. I know that in Chengdu was really big, but I know from tweets and from people sharing it more than from my own experience.
True. Actually, I don't know a lot of indie hackers in France, but I know there are quite a few of them in Paris. But I live in Nantes, and yeah, none of my friends is like an indie hacker or even an entrepreneur. So yeah, that's pretty that's something new for me to be surrounded by a lot of people.
But you have like a pretty solid engaged community online, and then on Discord and stuff. Just not IRL.
Yeah, no, not IRL at all. I think I've met maybe 3 indie hackers before meeting you guys. So yeah, no, that's not. I have my neighbor who is an indie hacker, but that's almost it.
He found you on X, right?
Yeah,
How,
yeah, it's
how does it feel to be in Asia surrounded by other entrepreneurs?
honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
A bit overwhelmed at first. Like it's strange, you know, just to talk about my work. It feels strange because I've never done that actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it feels also really like it's motivating because you know it feels less empty or pointless to build virtual stuff, you know, on the internet when you're surrounded by people who are doing the same. So yeah, I kind of like it. It's really motivating.
What
And seeing monkeys in the streets when you
yeah,
drive a
yeah.
scooter.
Yeah. You saw my video, I hope.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
The story behind the monkeys?
Yeah, what was
I just went for a bike ride with Fai. I don't know if she's here, and Fuchs.
yeah.
And yeah, we arrived at the top of the mountains, and yeah, I mean that there was a lot of monkeys just on the streets, you know.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Just hanging out.
Yeah, they were chill.
Yeah. Nice, man.
What you have most of your stuff is uni, right? I love that. I love that you're wearing the uni cap and the uni shirt. It inspired me. I need to get some of my own now.
Yeah, you should definitely should. But you know, in France, we are kind of obligated to buy stuff for our companies, you know, to deduce taxes. So it's kind of
It's a business expense.
Yeah, that's a business expense.
Smart way to put fashion as the business expense. Yeah.
Curious, Mark, like, do you have any ideas for us? Whether it's some marketing thing or anything that we should be considering maybe for the future? Yeah. Just where does like this type of hacker residency thing? Where does it take your brain?
I would say that you picked a really good location by going to Asia, and I think you should stay in Asia. And I think another thing you could do is to emulate what BuildSpace did in terms of production on marketing. They were amazing at telling stories. The Instagram account was super big. I think studying BuildSpace for the online communication would be a really good thing if you want to grow this.
Mars did a great job with that. I think he ended
Yeah.
up being very public about shutting it down, and I think a part of what we're going to try to figure out eventually is how can we build a aligned business out of this, something that is not extractive of value, but that we can maybe partner, and the impetus for this whole residency coming from San Francisco, this program called HF0. They are very legit. They have a $200 million fund. They like work with 10 residents at a time, where you go and they invest $1 million. It's kind of like YC. It's a safe, but the residency version, where you go, you live in a mansion for 3 months, and all of those founders are raising venture, right? So whether it's seed or A. And that really doesn't work for the indie world, so I think that's one of the things that's been on our minds. And also I think it affected BuildSpace and their eventual version of product market fit, if you will. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but that's one of the things we're actively trying to figure out. To be clear, for this first one, it's 100% free. We just have sponsors, and you guys are guinea pigs.
I'm honored to be a guinea pig.
Yeah,
it feels like more like we're spoiled.
Yeah. So yeah. Any thoughts, Mark, on maybe where we could take this thing?
I think those are like I'm a guy who makes websites, so my business decisions on this kind of advanced type of businesses are not very valuable. I think I think you I think you should just keep doing it and see. You will find an opportunity by looking at what's working out there. So I think BuildSpace for communication was amazing. Maybe if you look at other hiker residency in France or whatever other countries, you can see what worked for them and what didn't work. And if you keep doing it over and over, you can build something that lasts forever and change the life of all the people who joined the residency.
Yeah.
I love that, man. If you were going to do a piece of content here, like a content project, I don't know, you do a normal vlog, but if you had an idea for a content project, what would you do?
Yeah, you're surrounded in a house with all these legends, like, yeah.
Wouldn't think about creating content. I would think about making a story so good that you have to tell it. So that could be a crossover between you and Fook creating an app together that end up making 1 million AR at the end of the month. like
I like that too.
there we go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And like I would just make stuff so that in the end it's so good that you really have to tell the story about it instead of looking the other way around, which is what content can you create about. Think about what you could make that is so story worthy.
That's mindset wise, very good advice.
Quality over quantity.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, man.
Right, we got the wife waiting for this amazing meal made of kales and carrots.
Can you show us?
And chicken waiting for
Can you
me.
see? I don't know. Oh.
We're gonna dox the dinner.
Bring it on. Don't spill it. When you show it, don't spill it.
It's even hot. Like I really can't.
All of our dinner here
Oh man, that looks
laid
good.
out. That is nice and healthy, man. Nice and healthy.
Brian Johnson would be proud.
Yeah. Don't die.
Yeah.
Don't die, man.
Yo, Mark, ship fast. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it, my man.
He's trying to make
Oh shit.
I'm hungry.
Fast.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on board, and thanks for building this and sharing some words on all those people building stuff. This is amazing. I root for all of you. I hope that you guys crush your goals by the end of the residency. I want to see all those vlogs and things, and yeah, I'll see you for the next residency or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Fook wants to say something.
Fook wants a word.
Also, guys, just another thing that I want to say. So one of the things that I love about this residency is that I get to meet some of the new founders that actually not so popular on X or Twitter yet, and they are already building like very amazing stuff. For example, Miles next to me here, just like built one of the best lovable alternative. So you want to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? I'm Miles, at Miles Feldstein on Twitter. I'm going to plug it now. Basically, what I'm building is the best platform to build simple AI applications like interior design tools or funny video generators that make money. If you want to like launch and ship your first SaaS but you don't know how to code, you could from one prompt get like a app that has a landing page, security, authentication, billing, all built in, just in a couple seconds.
Miles is underselling it. So first off, Miles raised like 5-6 million for his previous app. Is coming from the venture world, and he's built like the meta version of Lovable for these Gen AI like cookie cutter apps. Partnered with you guys know like the Yeti Bigfoot guys on TikTok that blew up all the Yeti videos. Partnered with one of those accounts with millions of followers to allow their audience to create those type of Yeti videos, right? So yeah.
It's
amazing.
It's called Vost. It's super early, but if you try it out, DM me all the bugs you find, please.
Yeah.
VOST.ai.
Awesome.
Where are you at the moment? Like, do you have users at the moment, or you literally just shipped it?
We got a handful of users that have built tools. I just launched the self-serve. Like today.
The first customer.
Yeah, got the first customer without noticing a couple days ago. Yeah. Yeah, the first tool it launched is making like $500 a month, so it's super early, but I hope that I have many tools built on it, making 10K a month very soon.
Yeah. And product market fit with the Yeti crowd.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that I actually love about this residency, that we get to do this, we get to connect to more founders. Like, they have different background. Mine's coming from the VC background, built a venture business before. Hassan built a venture business before. I never done that. I'm coming from as an indie hacker, so I hope to continue doing this residency where we kind of mix the two worlds, the venture world and the indie world together.
Indie aspiring and venture aspiring.
Yeah. Well, Mark has his dinner waiting. Thank you very much for joining us, Mark. It was a pleasure meeting you, my man.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks for having me. You have a good day, and I root for all of you.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Likewise, man. Enjoy your food.
Bye.
Okay. See you. Bye-bye. Awesome. Dang, man. Mark is
Mark.
Thank you for joining me, man.
Yeah, his energy is great, man.
Yeah. Super nice.
It's like you meet certain people and you're just like, you want them to be successful, and like obviously he already is successful, but
I think that's it's like 2 and 2 together, right?
Yeah.
more likable you are, the more people want to like you as well.
It's so interesting also, like the difference. Like when you're, oh wow, of course.
We have some sponsors that are absolutely amazing. Let me just like run through this real quick. This whole thing would not be possible without these sponsors. So CodeRabbit is the best AI code review tool out there. Very easy to set up. I think Fook uses it every single day. OpenRouter is a gateway for being able to use any type of AI model with one API. They're absolutely killing it. They were actually an HF0 company. Alex Atala, the founder, was the CEO or founder of OpenSea before that, but really, really love OpenRouter. They just gave all of our residents $1,000 in free credits, which is basically like cash. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm using them for Marketplace, one of my products.
CodeRabbit in the house.
Yo, CodeRabbit! Yeah! Yo, Kitse had this thing. We was talking about CodeRabbit earlier today, and like he had this meme of there was this woman trying to entice a rabbit with a knife or something. He's like, I don't know if I should use CodeRabbit.
I started using CodeRabbit literally yesterday, and today I had it like review one of my PRs.
How was it?
And the way it was so freaking good, but the way it structured it, it was like, oh, it's nice what you were trying to do here, but it's not really gonna work. But it was really like, oh, it's nice. I like where this is going.
I pat you on the back, Hassan. That was a nice try.
Yeah, that was a nice. I see what you're trying to do.
Oh man.
Pretty funny.
It's really Florian says it's my favorite rabbit. Absolutely.
If anyone has any questions, by the way,
now's the time
to
so I think we've kind of gotten out most of everything we want to talk about, and then chatting with Mark. Want to go over, make sure we plug all of our sponsors, and then if we have any questions, just shout it out. N8N, awesome workflow automation tool. The one of the DevRels, Jamie Madden from N8N, is going to be in town next week. That's going to be really awesome.
And also, I think N8N community is one of the best community for indie hackers to build a product in. Because I have one of my products is PDF Vector, and a lot of my customers are coming directly from N8N. So if you are an indie hacker looking for an idea, look at N8N and see what kind of workflow you can improve.
Yeah. So just keep it on. Parallel.ai is I think they're seed or Series A stage startup, and they, to be honest, we have two of our competitors, our sponsors are competitors. So Parallel and Exa are kind of both doing developer APIs focused on AI search, and then Parallel, I actually really, really respect the architecture of their API, where they allow you to do agentic entity resolution and entity enrichment, where let's say you have a task where I want all of the engineers who live in New York, who used to work at Facebook, who have this many years of experience, as an example, and it kind of takes that type of natural language, breaks it into constraints, goes out, does a whole bunch of a kind of breadth-first search across the internet to get candidates, and then filters those based off of whether they match your constraints. Really powerful API. This problem, actually, entity resolution, is kind of at the core of a lot of very valuable businesses for being able to like connect dots and get really, really enriched data. Stainless is an amazing company that you may not have heard of, but they generate really good APIs. So if you've used the OpenAI SDK or the Anthropic SDK, that's generated by Stainless. Cognition, they made Devin, they made Windsurf, which got acquired by OpenAI. Devin is really, really solid. I think they've been iterating very quickly. So if you tried it like a year ago, it's like an async coworker as an engineer. I think their UX is one of the best in the game. And definitely worth checking out. And then Exa is also an awesome SF-based API targeting developers that is specifically built for LLM applications and agents to do search.
All right, that's
yeah.
great.
Woo! Woo! Thank you, Fook.
What's up, Florian, my man?
Yo.
How is Bali? How is Bali treating you? Someone said if we're in Da Nang, can we come over to hang out? Do you want to say that?
Yeah. So, in general, this an important part of what we're doing is that it is a closed space. However, on Friday evenings, from 6 to 10, we have a kind of a social, and there's a link for that. DM one of us, and we can send that over. We have limited headcount, but I think last Friday we had maybe 50 people come, and it was great vibes. We had some pizza, no alcohol. That's definitely, like, this is not a party house. We need to make that very clear. Even though, like, we all like partying sometimes.
Yeah, that's why we're locked in. With all
but we're locked in.
David's actually in the chat.
Oh, yo, David. Yeah. So DM David in Da Nang is one of our co-hosts. He's also been vlogging, so he has this YouTube channel, David and Kim. He's got a beautiful husky named Nala and a cute cat named Mew. And then they're building a house out here. He's been vlogging this whole residency thing. Yeah.
If you want the daily inside scoop, because some people are like, we wish you would do these live streams every day. Obviously, we're too locked in to upkeep that.
Yeah, I
But
think
if you want
like the
daily
focus
inside
is
scoop,
on
watch David's channel.
on being as productive as possible. So we're trying to, like, a core tenet of HS0, and then what we're doing here is, instead of adding a bunch of stuff to people's schedule and, like, you're going to learn about this today, you're going to learn about that today, the best people don't need that. It's much more about subtraction. Like, how can we remove as many distractions of your daily life so that you can lock in and focus? And that's why this live stream is, like, it's great. Rob has organized it and has done a great job with it. But we are trying not to add too much stuff onto people's schedules, because most people are coding for most of the time, or not even coding. Like, there's a few people who were like, Joseph, you're not allowed to touch the code editor today because your main thing is you should be reaching out, doing outreach, or talking to customers. So
A quick example, guys. Right in the background, we see in the background, Steve and Joseph are talking to each other.
Yeah,
you can see over here. So Steve was launching his new product, and Joseph is one of the early adopters. So they're actually talking to users right now.
Yeah.
A lot of it in live feedback and things that I think especially as indie hackers, you need to think a lot about in terms of what you want to work on. We talked about it in the live stream as well, what you should be working on, and focus on working on that. Sometimes it's coding, sometimes it's marketing, sometimes it's something else.
Yeah, another example is that I am building a Lovable for desktop apps, and Ayus over there was one of my first user ever. He has an app, he has an app idea, he has the landing page for it, but he didn't have the time to build it, so he's the perfect first users for my app. So that's one of the unique thing about this residency. We get the container, we get the beta users, we get the food, we get everything.
We get Fook. We get Fook. That's honestly my highlight so far.
And speaking of figuring out what you want to work on next, I'm going to do a shameless plug to what I'm working on.
Do it.
So if you're a mobile app developer, all I'm going to say, if you're trying to figure that out, if you're trying to crunch your data and actually, like, know what is it I should be focused on, what are the numbers I should be working on, what is it that my users care about, just shoot me a DM. I'm working on something really, really special. It's in closed beta, and I'd love some early eyes on it.
What's your account?
Hassan Bazi?
Yeah, at HABAZZI, at Habazi, basically.
Habazi.
Or go to fload.com, FLOAD.com, and shoot us an email.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Any questions? Where are we on time?
We've been going for just over an hour, almost an hour and a half now.
I think we're pretty good. You feel good?
Yeah,
I need to lock in now.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go back, lock in. Thank you guys for joining. We really appreciate it. Till next week.
Yeah, we'll do another one next week. I'll share a couple of days before or the day before.
Yeah.
As per usual.
Good shit, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate Travis.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody. Appreciate Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
And I'll see you guys this time next week, Tuesday, as per usual. All right, guys. Take care.